Hey, what is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Sage with another day in my life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good freaking evening. Happy Friday to you. Wow, what an event. What an event. We had a round table with some of the finest in the digital asset space from the Flare community. So we had content providers, we had signal providers, we had people who in the NFT space. Goodness gracious, Crypto Eddie was there, Mickey B. Fresh was there, Solomon was there, that one, Darren Moore was there, Bully was there. Yeah, what an awesome event for sure. Blessed to have been invited to hang out for sure. We had a great talk about all things Flare Network. James Rule, XRP, was in the building. So it was a really great event. Loved hearing from the NFT providers. I believe it's going to be 888 was an NFT provider, and was another NFT provider as well. Who was it? Not Moon Chaser, Sparkle's NFT platform as well. So really excited about that. We're going to talk a little bit about the Flare Networks. We're going to go over just a little bit of some things from their blog as well. Trey Hauser is in the building. What's good with you, bro? It's good to see you tonight. Yeah, and so my guy, South Texas Celsian, dropped the word today. So I guess he probably got that from the AMA. Unfortunately, I could not get on the AMA today. But I believe Polkadot is now available for U.S. investors as well to earn interest, and they're starting out at 8%. So that is really, really cool. I have a few $100s on the sidelines and stable. I'm trying to decide what should I do. Trying to really decide about that. Should I put it in that behemoth that is Polygon.curve.finance? Or should I get some Polkadot at the discount? Interesting stuff. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how that goes for sure. But Flare is going to be a monster. When I think about the fact that it's a level 1 entity, it's level 1. What is going to come and want to build on the Flare networks? When I think about XRP and Stellar Light and Dogecoin, what other DApps, if you will, are going to build on this Turing Federated Byzantine agreement network or mechanism or consensus? Who's going to come and why? What is that Spark token? What is that entire ecosystem and the mechanism around it? What does it offer? And I just, I hear about the real estate that's coming, right? I find it fascinating that Gala Games decided to come on this network. I find that to be very, very fascinating. Flare Finance made sense from smart contracts, and DeFi is huge. That made sense to me that Flare Finance would come. Why Gala Games? Why the real estate? Why all these different platforms? Are they coming from different verticals and choosing to build on the Flare networks? And what that means to me is a lot of use cases for the Spark token, but also for XRP. What is it going to mean for XRP once it's minted as an FXRP with smart contract capability and being interoperable? What is that going to mean for XRP? What other use cases and platforms are going to look to that FXRP? I find that to be very, very fascinating. I really, really, really do. How valuable is that FXRP going to be? We already know that Trustline says, yeah, bring your bring those FXRP over here. Bring the F assets over here. We already know that Flare Finance, bring those F assets over here. But what else? What else? What else is going to say, that's going to be able to tap into the awesome thing that is XRP from a smart contract and or DeFi perspective? Are you guys thinking about that? The possibilities are endless. And you guys know that I've been hopping on these DeFi platforms and participating in a pretty big way. And I'm excited about what Flare Finance is going to be. There's certainly going to be a first mover's advantage to Flare Finance on Flare Network. There's currently 120 or so billion in total value locked in the DeFi space. What other DeFi platform is going to leverage Flare Network? So you thinking about that? Are you thinking about that? What other platforms? How is Flare Networks going to outdo Arbitrum and Optimism? How is it going to compete with Polygon? It's going to have to compete with Polygon. How is it going to do that? What are the things that it offers? Right? It can't just be the 0.001 in the fee. There's got to be something else. Is it going to be 4 zeros and a 1 because it's on the ledger? Like what? It's going to be very fascinating to see what's going to be the draw for Flare Network. I'm fascinated by that. What's going to be the many use cases for the Spark token besides delegating and wrapping and using Spark for collateral for the agents? What else? What else? People already know about XRP. They know about how fast. They know about the ledger. They know about how inexpensive. What platform is going to say, man, in the smart contract world, I see all kinds of possibilities for XRP and Stellar Lumens, Litecoin, Doge. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's going to be massive in my humble opinion. I truly believe that. What's going on, Trevor Conte? Good to see you, my friend. Good evening, Siege and fam. Smash that like buttons, right? I know it's Friday night. People are probably hanging out, but I gotta tell you, it's going to be an interesting thing. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you, my friend? What's up, man? So is Spark being distributed this month? No, it is not. I don't know when it's going to. The launch looks like sometime mid-July. So in terms of when the actual, it's coming, but I don't know if it's this month or not. I don't know when. They haven't announced kind of when that is going to happen. I'm sure they will let us know when it is. Yes, it's still 15%. Yep. It is definitely 15%. So goodness gracious. I wrote something down. I want you to think about this from the blog, flare.xyz. It says Flare Network is bringing each integrated chain together all on Flare. Or let me read it a different way. Bringing each integrated chain together all on Flare creates unparalleled opportunities. Unparalleled opportunities. You know, there's a reason why Ripple invested in that company. And it's not because of a Spark token that, you know, XRP holders were able to get. Ripple's not even able to get any. You know, they invested in them for a reason. And I'm beginning to believe wholeheartedly that the reason why we got these federated side chains coming out of David Schwartz's mouth is because they recognize the possibility that Flare Networks represents. I really do believe that. I really do. So, man, I'm totally excited about that. Again, shout out to Crypto Eddie. Thank you so much for inviting me to hang out with all the all-stars. That was a really cool hang. It was great to hear from the signal providers. It was great to hear from the NFT platforms. I know Hugo, kind of did a introductory video as well that she's gonna get to us soon enough. But yeah, very, very excited about that. It was good. It was cool to hang with Solomon and hang with Darren and have James Rule on as well. And Mickey B. Fresh was, helping to kind of moderate things as well. So it's exciting to see what is going to happen. And I really do think there's something, it feels like there's going to be a cash flow that people are missing. I really do too. I really do think that. And I just got to tell you, people trying to sell you on a Roth IRA, Like, I got a question for you. In your Roth IRA, can you be both a lender and a borrower of your assets? Can you be both a lender and a borrower of your assets? I mean, some of you maybe have this crypto Roth IRA. Can you be a lender and a borrower of your assets? Can you participate with your asset as a liquidity provider? Can you tap into and position yourself in the waterfall of transaction fees on platforms that have total value locked in the billions and some in the tens of billions of dollars in a Roth IRA? I'm not saying a Roth IRA is a bad thing, but there are next level things. There are next level things, right? There are next level things, right? And I get there's some strategies around the Roth IRA without question. But can you be a lender and a borrower? Can you lend your assets? Can you borrow against them? Can you put them into DeFi if they're in that Roth IRA? You tell me. You tell me. Is that the case? I mean, there's some old school ways that work, right? Like dividend paying, cash flow, cash paying, cash value life insurance policy. That works. Without question, we have one. Without question, we have one. And we can borrow against our assets in that platform. We can borrow against it. Can you borrow against your Roth IRA? I'm wondering. Can you do that? Because if you borrow against your assets, when you take a loan against your assets, right, you can write off the interest on those assets as well. Right? You can write the interest off on those assets as well. So interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I know that one of the collateralized loans I did at 1%, I did it in actual dirty, nasty fiat. And the platform Celsius sent me a certified thing that they send the government and the IRS and the bank that this was a loan. That this was a loan against the assets. So don't put this in the ordinary income pile. You have to put this in another pile. So having your assets grow. And here's another thing too that I find fascinating as well. If you have a certain amount of XRP, can you get more XRP without spending money in a Roth IRA? I'm curious. Does anyone know? And does anyone know? GDLT. If you got your crypto in a Roth IRA, can you get more XRP on your XRP in a Roth IRA? Or do you have to spend money to get more XRP? How about this? Can you use the XRP in your Roth IRA as collateral? Can you use it to provide liquidity? Yeah, I don't know, but I don't think so. So be careful. This is 2021, right? And what someone did 30 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. Not that there aren't strategies around Roth IRAs. There are. Right? Roth IRAs and LLCs. You get things stacked up on one another. There are strategies around that. But this is 2021. You have an opportunity to be a liquidity provider. You have an opportunity to create cash flow. on a daily basis. So anyhow, what's going on, GDLT? It's good to see you. What's going on, Marquise? Good to see you, my friend. So I hope you guys are just consider it, look into it, check the possibilities when you look into a crypto Roth IRA. When you look into one of those, when you look into getting one of those, you definitely want to check out Mark J. Kohler on YouTube. Definitely check him out. See what he has to offer. He has a lot more strategy than just transitioning your 401k into a Roth, right? You need some strategies, not a platform. You need strategies. You need a team around you to strategize, not just a platform to move your assets to and fro. You need a team behind it. You need a team behind what you're going to do. So when you look into a Roth IRA, look to the team. Like, is this a tax attorney? Is this an estate attorney providing this Roth IRA? Or is it just a service and you got to figure some stuff out on your own, right? You need a team, right? So, definitely do your homework on that. Some stuff is old school. Do you know the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages? Because I believe firmly, going forward, it is about cash flow and not asset appreciation. Asset appreciation alone is not the answer, not for the crypto Sieges home. Cash flow. I want assets that I can leverage and hold that asset, right? Leverage and hold. In other words, be a lender and a borrower, be a liquidity provider and position myself to take in fees because I hold assets that allow me to do so. Taxes are incidental. Like to me, it's, I don't know. But in any case, just consider that. Look into it and see. I don't know. I'm asking those questions because I don't know the answers. Maybe you guys know. There you go, Marquise. Good for you, my friend. Good for you, right? You got to get set up in that stuff. Marquise said, here, my tax guy helped me set up my mother in a law trust before she died, right? You got to, trusts are important. It's an important part of that asset protection, right? You maybe don't have to do those initially, but eventually you want to get to them, right? A few $1,000s, but eventually you want to rid yourself of probate challenges for your estate. You definitely want to rid yourself of that madness for sure. It's a little work in trying to figure out, how you're going to set up your living trust, and it's a little challenging, but it's necessary. Whoa, get out. Trevor LeConte says the SEC stopped the Robinhood IPO. Whoa. I didn't know that. What? Wow. The SEC stopped the Robinhood IPO. It's delayed for now. I didn't know that. That is interesting. Interesting for sure. No Tundra music review. I don't think so. I think the snapshot is over. I don't know if there's still time to maybe Mark J. Kohler, Marquise, Kohler, Mark J. He helped you. I don't know if there's still. I think maybe even the ledger transition thing might be over as well. Tundra music review. Are you talking Mark J. Kohler, Marquise? Did I miss anyone coming in? What's going on, Jerry Wanaya? Good to see you tonight, for sure. So, look, Flare Networks, guys, I hope you're strongly considering participating there. I think the possibilities of cash flow is really going to hit you. I really, really do. Who knows what the Spark token initially was going to be, but 90 days from the launch, what could it be? 6 months from the launch, what could it be? Think about Uniswap and what happened there. It's going to be really, really interesting. I feel like there's just an ecosystem or a dynamic to that Flare network that asset appreciation, I don't think is going to be a challenge at all. But it's set up that those who chose to use the Spark token will benefit the most. And that's what Curve did, by the way. Curve, they set up this 1 year staking and then this 4 year staking. And then, they set it up in a way that you are certainly much more highly incentivized to hold on to Curve for years and years and years and years. They set up a nice system, and now they do $22 million a day in transactions. And I know that Curve is not, Flare Network is not Curve. I totally get that, but this model is going to be built around the Spark token. What is it going to look like? These F assets, it's going to be powerful. They're going to be powerful. And there's something about first movers advantage that Flare Finance is going to be awesome. I hope they win. And putting together a model where people will want to use the Flare Finance platform. But Trustline is saying bring your F assets over there as well. What is that going to look like? Another option on Flare Networks. And other options, I firmly believe, for F assets are going to come to Flare Networks. Yeah, it's going to come to Flare Networks. And someone's going to get it right and become the next Yearn Finance. Someone's going to get it right and become the next Polygon, the next Curve. Someone's going to really kind of get it right. Who's going to be the next Decentraland? Is it going to be 888 TNW? Is it going to be Sparkles NFT? What's going to be the next metaverse project coming to Flare Network? These are exciting things. Very fascinated by Gala Games and why they chose Flare Network. And it's more than just owning the NFT. I think it's bigger than that. I really do. And here we are, early to it. Think about the people early to Curve, early to Uniswap. Oh, you're saying, yeah. Oh, really? How was it, Marquise, working with Mark? He seems like an interesting dude, interesting character, but I think he's hugely smart. And I know he hooked up with, he's partnered with the other guy. They're both kind of like best-selling authors. What's the other guy he's hooked up with? But I think, if you're going to go IRA, go with a team, right? It provides the same tax benefits, but I think going with a team, like tax attorneys and the state planners is, that's probably a better option now, because they're looking to protect the assets, right, as a whole. Right. Oh, what's going on, Dakota? It's good to see you, bro. Appreciate you checking in, my friend. Looks like that one French or Italian bank is planning something with Flare Networks also. exciting to see a bank that is diving in deep. Yeah, I guarantee it's about those F assets, Dakota. I guarantee you it's about those F assets. Think about just the two, they're all great, all four of them. But think about the liquidity tokens like XRP and Stellar Lumens. I think the world is gonna be running to that F assets, and because we're talking scaling in not only just scaling but also scaling in transaction throughput as well. Yeah. It was something that Ethereum was just not able to do, and even with ETH 2.0, still won't be able to do it in transaction throughput. So yeah, Flare Networks is going to be a big deal. Digital Funkster is in the building. How are you, my friend? Hey, see, Flare will be life-changing, indeed. Yes, that's correct. Sal Patel, that is correct. DFLR is from Flare Finance. FLR is from Flare Networks. Compass Bank is BBVA. Was it BB? Was it B? I don't know. I don't know the bank, but that's very nice, Marquise. It's great to hear that. I've been really watching a lot of his stuff, and it feels like someone to turn to who kind of gets the complete picture in terms of asset protection. And I think that's it's important, to have someone like that on your team, right? The estate attorney, the tax attorney, the accountant, right? Your personal lawyer, your private banker. I think, those are all important to have as a team. Just promoting a Roth IRA for tax advantages is like second grade stuff, right? Right. Someone, my mentor used to say to me, the reason why they make those desks so small in the second grade is so you can't fit into them when you're in your 40s. Right? It's time to graduate. So definitely put yourself a team around you, for sure. That's great to hear, man. It's great to hear, Marquise. It is really, really good to hear. What's the other guy do you remember the other guy that he worked with, that he's partners with? They both wrote books. And for the life of me, I cannot remember his name right now, but it'll come to me. See, guys, you see what I'm saying? Let's go over a little bit of Flare Network here. Let me share this. So I was reading this thing here, and I got to tell you, everything was really, really fascinating. Proof of stake can't. Proof of stake invariants can scale transaction through, but existing implementations can't scale for value. In our opinion, proof of stake is more of a stopgap than a solution. Flare is at its core a new way of scaling smart contract platforms that does not link the safety of the platform with the value of its token. Some really, really, really great stuff. At network launch, built on top of Flare, is then a protocol to safely enable trustless issuance, uses, and redemption of XRP on Flare. This protocol is called FXRP. XRP safely and trustedly becomes FXRP on Flare, secured by Flare's native token Spark. XRP now effectively exists on a Turing-complete network, and once their trustless interoperability with other networks is feasible. Trustless interoperability with other networks is feasible, both through interoperability protocols such as Cosmos and Polkadot. So for me, that says that Polka Swap and whatever Cosmos got going on, that XRP will be able to be added there for liquidity pools. That's what it says to me. defined as well via well-defined bridge protocols. In short, Flare can be used as a smart contract platform for XRP or as a trustless pipeline for XRP to other networks. In other words, all these other networks that perhaps wanted to get their hands and take advantage of all the attributes of XRP are going to be able to do that. They're going to be able to do it. Furthermore, the general methodology of the XRP is extendable to any non-Turing complete token, and the ability to decide which other tokens to support and then extends the means to do so is built into the system and governance of the network. And when we're talking smart contracts and the likes, I think there are platforms and there are DApps and there are entities longing to be able to take advantage again of the attributes of XRP. Now that it has smart contract capability, and now that it has this way to kind of interact and with other networks, I think it's going to be an absolute, it's going to be a game changer. I really, really do believe that. I really do believe that, guys. And I hope you get it as well. Let me see what I want to see from the beginning. I think it's just going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. I think it's bigger than just the Spark token. I think major use cases for both Spark and the F assets on this platform. I really do. I hope you guys see that as well. Okay, Matt, their directed IRA company. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. For me too, Marquise, and I totally get what you're saying. What I think of when I choose one, do I get a team or don't I? Do I get counsel or don't I? Do I get access or don't I? Right? And I think that's kind of really kind of I think that's a big, big difference. Do I get strategy advice or don't I? Where do I get strategy advice? Where do I get complete asset protection? That's what I'm thinking personally for me in the crypto Caesar's home. That's what I'm looking for, that overall thing. I talked with the CEO of I Trust Capital. He's a smart guy and a very nice guy. And so that's what I'm ultimately looking at for sure. Again, I want to be in a position when it comes to Roth IRAs. I want to be in a position to leverage the asset as best as I can. Leverage XRP as best as I can. Leverage it as best as I can. In my opinion, the days of buying and holding an asset and just putting it somewhere is so second grade. Right? I just think the whole digital asset space is evolving into something bigger than that, bigger than When Moon, and I think bigger than taxes, personally. Okay, there it is right there. In regards to CBDCs, correction to my earlier statement, SIBA Bank AG stated in a tweet, certainly interesting to do something on Flare networks in the future is what they said. It is the French central bank. It is the French central bank. And Dakota, I said this earlier, I don't know if you're on, but I truly believe that Flare networks was an eye opener, an awakening, if you will, to Ripple. I think the federated sidechain proposal was like their answer, Ripple's answer, right, to other possibilities. So if you got a central bank saying they want to do something on Flare networks, why do you think that is? It's not for NFTs, right? It's not, the French central bank is not looking to start gaming on Gala Games, right? No, it's about them F assets and about in my humble opinion, and about this scalability and transaction throughput that comes with them on Flare networks. Truly believe that. And I believe this federated sidechain proposal from David Schwartz is the answer. Like, is their answer to Flare networks. Ripple has to have their own. Ripple don't own Flare networks, right? I think that's their answer. I really do believe it, right? I truly do believe that. So for a central bank to say that they want to do something in terms of probably in reference to CBDCs on Flare network, how do you think they're going to do that? Right? Because Flare is on the ledger, right? And I just read interoperability there. So I believe entities will be able to tap into the genius that's the XRP ledger. I think they're going to be able to tap into the behemoth that is F assets at scale. At scale. I don't know how private or not private things will be for that central bank, but think about that statement coming from the central bank. So it's going to be interesting to see this trustless ecosystem that Flare Networks has represents. Without having, being able to move value in a trustless manner, I think it's going to be powerful. I think it's going to be powerful. And I think more and more people will get the appeal once they understand it. And people who own Spark, I'm curious to see who's going to be an agent on this Flare network. Who's going to be that agent providing 2.5 times the liquidity, taking in whatever the burn fee is to mint FXRP. I thought it was 5%, maybe it's 3%. I read 0.1%, so I don't even know what it's going to be. But who's going to be taking that in? Who's going to be the agents? It's very, very intriguing to see. And we're early. It's nothing like being early, having first movers advantage on a legit, not having to worry about rug pulls and any of that madness, right? Growing Flare networks together, participating with the Spark token, participating in Flare Finance if you choose to, participating in Trustline if you choose to. Be careful what you do with your F assets. Those are your assets. And by the way, you can always go back into XRP when you're ready. Again, owning XRP and leveraging it. Growing your portfolio tax-free. Oh my goodness. It's so second grade. In my opinion, it really is. It's so second grade. Can I hold on to this asset and create thousands of dollars a month in cash flow? In cash flow, not asset appreciation, not in the value going up. Can I hold on to this asset and create thousands of dollars in cash flow on a weekly basis? That's the question. Now, if I can do that in a Roth IRA, cool. Show me the Roth IRA that's going to provide weekly cash flow for holding an asset. Show me that platform. Show me that Roth IRA that does that. If not, I'm taking my assets elsewhere. I want to create cash flow. I want to leverage and not liquidate my asset. Right? It's evolving. The ecosystem is evolving. And if you don't understand DeFi, if you don't understand that, maybe dive into it a little bit. I just would humbly submit to you that the self-directed, the Roth IRAs, they have a purpose, but it's right. How can you create cash flow? How can you create cash flow? I have a friend in crypto that's making $4,000 to $5,000 a week. And still has his assets, not liquidating them. 4 to 5 grand a week, not liquidating them. Right? And sure, yeah, look, we're all here for asset appreciation. We certainly want assets to appreciate, but when moon, are you liquidating? Are you 100% out of the asset and now you got dirty, nasty fiat and you no longer have the asset? When the option to hold the asset and have dirty, nasty fiat coming in cash flow is available. Second grade with the noontime nap. Indeed, bro. Indeed. Marquise, what are you saying, my friend? So are we saying that chain link from Ripple will be linked to our IRAs to cash flow possibly? Nope. I am not saying that. What I'm saying is currently that's not what Roth IRAs represent. They don't provide an opportunity for cash flow. They provide a measure for asset protection. But tell me about the cash flow. Tell me, I want to know what cash flow looks like. I want to know what cash flow looks like. I want to know how am I positioned to take advantage of $120 billion in total value locked in transaction fees. Can I do that with my assets in a Roth IRA? And if I want to go from 1,000 to 2,000 XRP, do I have to keep coming out of my cash flow business and investing in XRP? Or can I keep my XRP, provide liquidity, earn an asset in terms of cash flow, and use that cash flow to get more XRP versus coming out of my pocket? Because that opportunity is available. That opportunity is available. Yeah, 120 billion in total value locked. That's the whole DeFi space. There are platforms that have 5 billion in total value locked where you can participate as a liquidity provider and position yourself to take in 0.2% or 0.3% based upon your position in terms of collateral deposit. You can position yourself on platforms that do $22 million a day in transactions. I don't know how much that is, but that feels like a lot. What is 22 million times 30? Is that 6 billion? I have no idea. Is that billion? Miss Crypto Sieges.
This guy sitting on me is so funny.
Somebody's hitting on you? You told me that before somebody was hitting on you. Somebody's hitting on Miss Crypto Siege on social media.
And he's like, oh my God. So he's like, send me a pic. I'm like, just look at my Facebook.
I think this is, so this says 660 million. 660 million a month. So times 12 is 7 billion. 7,920,000,000. And right now it's 22 million a day. How many tens of million is it going to be next in the next 5 years? How many more tens of million will it be in the next 5 years? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm wondering if that beats tax-free in a Roth IRA. Maybe you do both. Maybe you take a small percentage and put it in the Roth and you take the others elsewhere. But I feel like participating in a $7,920,000,000 platform yearly. You know what I mean? Or right now, Music Biz Moriarty, that's on Wan Chain. Here shortly, it will be on Flare Networks. I mean, I don't know. You tell me, guys. Does it feel like positioning yourself on a platform that does 7,920,000,000 yearly, and you can position yourself by providing liquidity? Celsius right now is not doing it, John, on XRP, right? Position yourself in that 0.3 to 0.2% based upon the collateral that you provide, collateral that you can withdraw and take out at any time, at any time. Feels like, not that there's not risk, there's always smart contract risk in anything. There's always smart contract risk on anything. But it feels like that beats growing a portfolio tax-free. Remember, the value of your portfolio in a Roth IRA is completely, listen to me, is completely independent upon the market and its asset appreciation. It's tax-free. But if you're in a bear market, what's the value? What's your cash flow? How much you making on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis? Something to ponder. Something to ponder. Yeah, Music Biz. I have a couple of videos. Just check them out on Wan Chain. How to get interest on your XRP. And again, this is before Flare Network launches, right? Once Flare Network launches, right, my XRP is no longer going to be on Wan Chain. Isn't that great? I don't have to ask permission either. I'm not going to be fined for moving it. I'm not going to get a no activity fee. I'm not going to get a no activity fee from wanchain.finance. I'm taking my assets. You know, there's a saying going on nowadays in the CBI space, which is the citizenship by investment space. There's a saying that says, go to where you're treated best. Well, in the DeFi space, go to where your assets are treated best. They're your assets. You've already paid for them. Go to where your assets are treated best. Yeah, you certainly can. Yeah, I mean, Celsius is a great place, depending on the assets that you hold. That's the fundamental sound place, Music Biz Moriarty, to earn interest. They got over 40 assets on there that they pay a very, very stable and smooth APY on your assets, right? Well, you don't have to deal in DeFi. I always tell people, I believe Celsius is the greatest asset to the digital asset space ecosystem, because not only do they provide yield in a safe way, but they also are expanding the size of the pie and bringing in more people into this digital asset space. Firmly believe it. So if you want to begin to learn what it's like to earn crypto on your crypto. You want to begin to learn what it's like to be a lender and be a borrower. If you want to begin to see what that's like on crypto, right? You haven't done it before. You've never lent your crypto. You've never borrowed against your crypto. Celsius is a great place to start. Celsius.network. Celsius.network is a great place. And there's my referral code. If you don't mind using that, that'd be awesome. $400 you deposit. We each earn $50 in Bitcoin for depositing $400. But I think it's a fabulous platform to begin to know what it feels like to be a lender of your assets, where a platform says, we want your assets and we'll pay you for depositing the assets. And oh, by the way, if you ever want to borrow against those assets, you can do so at a 1%, 4%, 8% loans, APR, which is a 25% loan to value, 33% loan to value, and a 50% loan to value. We'll let you do that. Hey, and we'll let you do that without a credit check. You without a credit check. You won't have to send in any references. Yeah. You won't have to sit on the other side of some desk with some dude judging you and seeing if you might qualify for their money. You won't have to do that with Celsius Network. I love it. That's a great way to start. You get comfortable for there a year or 2 or 3. Then you can begin to dabble in the DeFi space. For sure. For sure, for sure. Hey, Jared's in the building. What's going on, my friend? Hey, Siege. Will I have to keep equal XRP to Flare? No. In order to provide liquidity collateral, does wanting to use Flare make XRP a no sell in order to use and leverage the platform to its full extent? Well, I think on the latter part, that second question, I think it's right. That's a personal decision for sure. But no, you do not have to have equal amount of XRP. Right. And so on Flare networks, there's the Spark token is the big utility. And then minting your FXRP is the other thing that you'll be able to do to earn more Spark token. Right. So there's delegating your votes. There's wrapping it in the governance. So those are 2 ways, like risk-free. I believe. And then the other thing, 8 weeks after Flare Networks launches, is you'll be able to mint, which is basically turning your XRP into FXRP. And you're going to get Spark token for that as well. You're going to get Spark token for that as well. And all that means is you're really just turning XRP into FXRP. And so that FXRP can be utilized on Flare Finance, for example, or used on Trustline, for example, right? So, but you're going to get Spark token for minting, merely changing that XRP to FXRP, right? To this agent, if you will. And this agent collects a fee because they provide 2.5 times collateral. So it's going to be 3 ways you can use Spark token. 1 way with XRP in the beginning, and then of course that FXRP you can use on Trustline and Flare Finance as well. And it's FXRP. Those are going to be a little bit more risky. They're going to be a little bit more risky. That's why you want to be comfortable on DeFi now. What does it look like? It's Flare Finance, right? That's what we're talking, providing liquidity. We're talking liquidity pools. We're talking farming, right? We're talking yield farms, right? And so we gotta be comfortable with those. And what is that going to look like? What's the risk? What does impermanent loss look like? Those are more riskier, right? And so we want to get comfortable with what that looks like now, right? You know, app.sushi.com and Polygon. What is it? Polygon.curve.fi. What does providing liquidity look like? QuickSwap.exchange, right? What does that look like? App.sushi.com. What does it look like to provide liquidity? I primarily hang with stable coins. So I primarily stick with providing liquidity in stable coins, right? Because there's about a zero, not zero, but about a zero chance of impermanent loss there. But while I'm providing liquidity of $500 or $1,000, I'm earning cash in terms of I'm earning an asset that has value to it. So even if the asset is 10 cents, I earn 10 cents for providing $500 in stable coins. I don't lose my $500, but I am earning cash flow daily. For example, what if the asset that you earn is worth $1? What if the asset you weren't earning is worth $200? Right, that's the opportunity that you have, and so it's going to be interesting to see what Flare Networks is going to. Flare Finance is going to come up with in terms of their liquidity pairs. Right, it's called liquidity pairs. Stable coins are liquidity pairs. XRP and Bitcoin is a liquidity pair. There's more risk of impermanent loss with Bitcoin and XRP in the liquidity pair because they can go up in value and go down in value, and some doesn't always follow the other. Where versus a stable coin, they pretty much do the same thing, right? Go up a little few, 1, 2, 3, whatever, go down maybe to 98, right? There's a little less, significantly less risk of impermanent loss that way. But the thing is, do you know what that's like to be a liquidity provider? The great thing is you can start out with $10, $5 of USDC and $5 of USDT, $5 of USDC and $5 a DAI, and just provide liquidity. See what that looks like. See what it feels like. Maybe you earn some sushi. Maybe you earn some DFIN. Maybe you earn some pancake swap if you want to hang out on the Binance Smart Chain, right? What does that feel like? Yeah. Flare Finance. The great thing I think about Flare Finance for us is that first mover's advantage. The platform has to win. It has to win. It has to be able to withstand market crashes. It's going to have to withstand, that code is going to have to stand the test. Is it going to stand the test? Don't know. Yearn Finance today, which I think does 7 or 9. Let me see something here. How many billions does Yearn Finance? Everybody's heard of Yearn Finance because Yearn Finance was the first asset. To get to a higher asset valuation than Bitcoin, right? What is it? Right? The token, the YFY token, goodness gracious. Tens of thousands of dollars, right? Yeah, everybody knows Yearn Finance because of that. But a lot of people don't know that Yearn Finance does $4 billion in total value locked. $4 billion. And they had a breach in their code. They had a mishap. But they survived it. They had a mishap. $11 million. Whoops. But they survived because of participation and community support. And then they went on to become this monster. Right? What's going on, Crypto Kahuna? Good to see you, bro. Indeed it is, man. You got Flare Network, you got Flare Finance. This is going to be a monster. Aloha, Cease. Aloha to you, bro. It really is. Right? That active participation in Flare Network, Hugo has said it time and time again. The participants actively participating, delegating votes, and participating on Flare Networks is going to benefit to the detriment of those who look to put the Spark token in an IRA, in a Roth IRA for tax purposes. Right? That's what he said. The Spark token holders that utilize it, delegating votes to FTSOs, and right, participating in governance, right? Those people who participate are going to benefit greatly as compared to those who still are living in the second grade, hanging out in second grade, doing stuff there. So that's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, Jerry won a yacht. Yeah, 1.8 on Matic was a great deal, right? It was a great deal. I remember when we did that, got into Polygon. That's a great question, Marquise. Do you guys think that when enough people get turned on to crypto and get turned on to residual income, they're going to lock it up and going to be first come, first served? No, I do not. I personally don't, because I think the ecosystem is too big. And I think it's so early. You know, you're kind of hitting towards like saturation, like no more yield will be available, and I don't see that. I don't see that happening. First of all, I just don't see enough people getting into crypto. In the next 10 years, I don't see enough people getting into it. And then how many of those are going to participate in the yield ecosystem? I don't see it. I think that Celsius will have his hands full. I think a lot of people will gravitate to Celsius, and Celsius will have to find a lot of different ways to create yield. He's already said it's not going to be just crypto. He already recognizes there's only a certain amount of places you can tap into in crypto. And if you're going to grow to 100 million users, which he's looking to grow to, you're going to have to find different ways to get yield. And crypto will as well. Crypto will find other ways to get yield as well. Why can't you put your NFTs up for collateral and borrow against them? They're yours. Right? That's coming as well. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been an hour. It's good to see you guys. What's your price prediction for Spark? Hey, Siege, what's your price prediction for Spark? I don't have one. I have no clue. I have zero clue what it's going to be. I'm more interested in the more use cases for Spark token versus the price, right? Because I'm going to be participating and delegating my votes and participating in the ecosystem. So I'm looking for more ways to use the Spark token. I think asset appreciation will take care of itself. I really do. But I'm looking at cash flow, not asset appreciation. I'm looking at cash flow. How can I use this Spark token to create cash flow? And what is that going to look like, right? On a daily and weekly basis, cash flow. All right, guys, listen, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been a really, really cool hang. It's always great to hang out with you guys for sure on a late night Friday. Is it Friday? On a late night Friday night. I managed to get the 2 streams in, even though we had an awesome hangout with Crypto Eddie. You guys be sure to look out for that video from Crypto Eddie on the round table around Flare Networks. Again, I felt blessed to be a part of that. So many of the studs in the space, the studs and the studettes in the space were hanging out. Solomon, Mickey B. Fresh, Darren Moore, Bully, James Rule, XRP, Flare Community, Deep Space Flare, all the FTOs. It was a cool hang. All right, guys, listen, I am going to end this stream like I do all of my streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I are already winning. Have a great night, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.